What is up guys, Wraec here with a new video, and today with a guide for hero drills. And as you probably have already seen in the title, you only have today to do this because we have just 23 hours left on this. I did this video right at the reset because I want to put it out as soon as possible so that you don't miss this loot, because well, we only got the last stage today, meaning you only got the last quarter of the loot, including 5 temporal essence and 30 title essence today. So if you don't do this now, you will miss this loot, and I definitely don't want you to do that. So starting off, we already did a video on the first 2 stages here, on the first 2 areas. If you have missed that and if you need some help on those stages or just interested in that, definitely check it out on my channel. I will also link it down below. Starting off, we got the first stage, Lingering Heat, themed around Athalia, which is pretty cool that we got some stages around her with an Igor-Athalia combination, which I absolutely like, because Athalia has a special ability that actually means that when she's defeated, she will not actually be defeated, but will remain in her lance form, and this lance will remain on the battlefield as soon as there's any other hero in your team alive. And this lance still has 65% of her attack, which is pretty crazy and can definitely deal a ton of damage. So one popular combination is to combine that with Igor, because Igor is notoriously difficult to kill, especially when you got Athalia still dealing damage on the battlefield. So just position the Igor right here, and this should take care of this stage fairly easily, because Athalia, well, she's pretty OP. You can see she's targeting the enemies, doing a ton of damage, and Igor is just very difficult to defeat there with the tombstones, especially if you have him upgraded a little bit and get those extra tombstones from the start. The enemy will have a tough time defeating him. Even when they get rid of Athalia, they barely have a chance to really take care of Igor, and in the time Athalia can still deal a ton of damage to them. Next stage is another form of sustain, mostly centered around placing Siren in the back so he gets the CC immunity. We can combine that with Corin here on the side, and this will also give Athalia enough time to actually clear those enemies out, while she's also supported by extra shields from Corin. And with Siren in the back pulling all the enemies together once he gets to ult, that is actually a very powerful combination that I've used as well in PvP. In PvP this works as well, though you have to kind of deal a little bit more damage, so she's not really the best PvE unit in those terms, but in PvP this will look roughly the same as we just saw. So an absolute monster. Those stages should be no problem for you. Next up is Indris. Here we want to make sure to get rid of this guy first. The beam golem will otherwise be a big problem for us, so make sure you position Sylvina right. Those two old positions here in the back mostly work. I think the frontmost actually still work, so I don't know. We'll probably know how everything works. Is this once again a stage where everything works? This is kind of crazy. I don't know, they did this in the last few stages. I still think it's kind of weird. Is this a stage where everything works? Let us just check that very quickly. Wait a second. Which one was that? This was Precision Disruption, I think. Is this one where everything works? I think that's pretty much every single combination. I don't know what they do with this. It's a little bit too crazy for me. I still think they should do it in a way where you actually get to learn something. But yeah, Indris is usually a hero focused around debuffs, so that is something that we want to use. So this stage at least gives us the debuff units. We will use the shield from Kruger on this one. Oh, sorry, from Corin I meant, to actually protect our units. I split them up like this. The good thing here with Indris is he gets to target all of those 3 enemies, because his arrows split between all the 3 enemies, so we get some extra damage here from him, because we actually have 3 enemy units. When those 3 arrows from him actually target the same units, or the same unit, then they will actually deal a little bit less damage, but we can see his damage really stacking up here still, and easily clearing out this stage for us. So this was really the first area that we have right here, already giving us the first 5 temporal essence. And now for the rest of the loot, pretty interesting. We get into a little bit of Faramir. First stage, Healing Denied, which is part of his skills, is actually to deny enemy heal, and with that he's pretty potent against exactly those units really that have either passive heal or are just a healer in themselves. And thus actually a pretty powerful unit there. We actually get to see his buff here as well, that we can put on Rowan to give us a little bit of extra energy, and of course with the massive damage and the denied healing, which you definitely should try to use in PvE. In PvE, denying enemies heal is super powerful in certain stages, and just the massive damage output on Faramir we have actually shown in many stages before, so that is definitely something great for this. Here we actually have a Thorin, we have Sylvina, and Rowan again. This stage is supposed to show us that we have a quick assassin here, with the buff over there. Interesting part about this could actually have been a very nice opportunity for them to show that Sylvina can deny healing as well, because she reduces target's vitality. So that would have been another kind of healing denied opportunity for them, but we will make sure we get some extra damage here and kind of split this up a little bit, taking quick care of Thorin before he actually gets to do anything. And with pretty massive AoE here still on the Faramor, like his area is not very small. If we actually see this, we hit the other unit with it as well, and this takes quick care of the enemies. The most important thing really is that we get rid of this Thorin, because before he actually gets to counterattack us once he starts with his ult, yeah, we are in a bit of a peril. This is pretty cool, starting to see Kulu. Kulu in this hero drills is a nice addition. Tactical isolation, we get to see the marks here. If you've never seen that before, I definitely recommend you check out my guide on Kulu. They put us a bunch of melee heroes here, so they interact very well with her wall. The pink symbols here are parts of her wall that can't be destroyed. The middle one can be destroyed by the enemy, so all those enemies will actually not target her. They want to target her, but they will have to deal with the wall first. The way I did this on my other account was just like this, with her in the middle. And with the wall, this is a pretty easy way to take care of this, because they will all center up here. We have a little bit of AoE damage with Valen, and then we have them all lined up here in the middle, and you can see how the wall is actually rebuilt there, and gives us the extra time needed to get the Kulu ult off. Really, you just need Valen to just block the enemies off so that we get this rebuild of the wall, and then you can see Kulu takes care of everything else. But Kulu is a very cool hero. I really like her. She only struggles a little bit with ranged units, which this one actually gets to show us a little bit. But the cool thing is we get to see the combination of Kulu together with Siren. We want to have a quick Siren ult here to pull all those enemies together, giving them less chance to attack us, and then we just put our Vala in here. It would have been cool if we had a Mythic plus Iron, because that would have given us the free ult at the beginning of the game, and then we would have pulled the enemies together, giving a nice combination with Siren. In his present form, he would just attack the wall here, which is something we do not really want. Neither do we want Gerda for this. Gerda would have been a nice block here, could have been an option. I wonder if this works actually. She seems a little bit low, but with Vala as a ranged unit, we definitely keep this wall intact a little bit longer. So this should take care of this stage as well. And yeah, so her wonderful bomb ability. I like this bomb ability. What this does is it takes two enemies and throws them back at a third enemy that stands a little bit further behind. And yeah, so this works out fairly well, and we see again the massive damage of Kulu, and that is actually already it. That's a pretty quick clear this time, and gives us a ton of loot here. 10 Temporal Essence, I definitely need those. Always short on those with the reviews. We burn through the Temporal Essence quite a bit, because I always upgrade those heroes to +10, and then yeah, I sometimes lack the Temporal Essence that I would really want for heroes like Athalia, for example, to get them to +15. +15 is always very expensive, but yeah, that's it. So, last word for this video, of course, for our sponsor Lootbar. If you are in need of some cheap dragon crystals, I can definitely recommend Lootbar to you. If you register through the link down in the description, you get an 8% and a 12% discount coupon, making the next two purchases you do a whole lot cheaper. I always use the lock-in top-up, which is a little bit cheaper than the direct top-up, both of which work perfectly well. And I'm a big fan of Lootbar, I have to say this once again, and I definitely appreciate the support you guys let's go to me. Do you say this like this? English. Always thank you for that. So overall, very cool hero drills, some cool interactions. I just wish they would adjust the balancing a little bit this time around. I don't like to see stages where every single solution works, where every single placement works. That kind of takes the fun out of hero drills, and that doesn't actually lead you to understand the abilities of the heroes, which was the appeal of hero drills for me, always having like this little stage that required you to understand how the hero works, how a specific part of that hero works, and for example, that a Faramor blocks healing or something like this is great, but not every single placement should lead you to success there, I think. So let me know what you think about this hero drills there. Make sure you do it within the 23 hours that we have remaining, and other than that, I wish you a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.